Welcome to English and Grow. Today's topic is the stationers. This is a shop where you can buy stationery or the so called office supplies. So let me challenge you. Do you know all these words? Do you know that an eraser might be retractable? Do you know what grit is? Do you know that you can have pencil lead? Let's dive into this. So everyone uses, even in our digital world, pens and pencils, and sometimes you need to buy a refill. Or if you have an ink pen, you need to go for cartridges. So cartridges are not just for your printer, but also for this old-fashioned type of a pen. Now, if you like drawing or painting, have you ever bought brush pens? For me, this was a new product when I was preparing this presentation. And brush pen, it means that while you are drawing, you can also dip the tip of your pen into a little bit of water, and that will add an extra texture to your drawing. What about pencil lead? So this is what I have already mentioned. And as you can see from the picture, this is a refill for your pencil. And you can choose different thickness. Now, what about highlighters? I think these are extra cute, and I believe everyone knows what highlighters are. But let's go for the pocketbook. So, pocketbook means that there are pockets of the same size, they are transparent, and in there you can put your materials which you do not want to get dirty, you do not want them to get damaged or creased. So that's a very practical thing if you want to keep your materials neat. What about these two? So binders and folders, they are similar. Basically, their function is again to protect your materials, and if they have some kind of, if they have wire in the middle, so they are called binders. And if you can just put the sheets of paper there, so that's a folder. So folder is not just in your computer, but you can also buy it at a stationers. Now, what about loose leaf? So you can buy a loose leaf paper for your printer, or you can buy a notebook of your choice. And I believe most of us actually prefer lined notebook. I don't mind using plain on a notebook, which means that there is nothing in there. But some people are in love of grid notebook, and that means there are these little squares in there. I believe I haven't forgotten about any type. And what about post-it notes? There is actually funny history behind a post-it note because that's connected with an inventor who thought he was an absolute loser because the glue he made was not strong enough. So, what to do? He had glue that would not really stick everything for too long. So, he had to actually invent the context where his amazing invention could really become amazing. And that's a post it note because the glue there is not that strong. You can reuse it. You do not damage the things you put the post it note on. And that's actually wonderful. What about a stamp? I believe when I was a kid, I loved using stamps. What about you? I have chosen this picture and let's move on. So, anyway, I hit upon this online stationers which is into super cute products, and here we have two of them. So, pencil sharpener could be in many shapes, and why not a cookie? What about an eraser? So maybe you just use the simple one, but actually the eraser or the rubber could also be retractable, which is very practical and elegant at the same time. Correction tape, again, a wonderful invention. If you want to study the history of it, you will learn that there is a female inventor behind it. Why? Because secretaries, like the people really typing the materials, used to be women because that was a low paid job. And I'm sure you can imagine the headache it was for every secretary when she made one little mistake in typing that paper. So If you can imagine the despair. So, out of necessity, that lady created a correction tape. Back then, it was a correction fluid, and now I believe correction tape is actually more frequent. Let's move on to the pair of compasses. So, compass, everyone knows what that means, but you can also have a pair of compasses, and that's great for geometry. If you like Arabic mosaics, which I love drawing, you cannot do that without a pair of compasses. What do we have in the next slide? So, here you have types of clips. So, you can have a bulldog clip, or you can just call it a binder clip, and the standard one is paper clip. If you are into history, you know that paper clip could mean one very special thing. You might want to Google it. What about here? So, another set of super practical office supplies. So, sometimes you need a hole punch, and that's when you want to put the paper in some binder. So, you need to create a hole, actually, two of them, at a very special spot. So, the binder and the way the sheets of paper are organized, so it looks nice. So, that's a hole punch. Sticky tape. So, I'm sure every one of us knows this experience when you're trying to find the end of the sticky tape, and that's solved when you have a dispenser. What about this one? So, in my mother tongue, we use this instrument, a horse. Don't ask me why. In English, that's a stapler. And if you have ever worked in an office, you actually also need a stapler remover. So that's the second thing. And one more time about a notebook. So it could also be wired. That's what you see in the picture. And I have also put adhesive labels. I remember in communistic times when the Czech Republic used to be a socialist regime, the way products and the prices, the price tags were organized in a shop that was by means of these adhesive labels. So by hand, the shop assistants, they would put the price on each and every product. You can imagine how long it took. Nowadays, our mentality is like lightning quick, but I guess maybe it might also have been kind of relaxing if I compare it with the tempo we live in today. Post-it notes one more time. I just love those. And the last one is a popper wallet. So you can see this little thing like a button in the middle of it, and that means this. It kind of looks like a pocket also, but they call it popper wallet. And I see my typo. I apologize. Actually, popper with double P in the middle, and that is a super practical thing because in there you can put like extra money which you have for some event. You don't want to mix it with your own money, or you can put some, I don't know, some little documents like when you go to the doctors with your kid and you want to be ready. So that's how I use the popper wallets. So this is it. What have you learned? Do you know a popper wallet? I'm sure you remember now. What about a stapler, a remover? What about a sticky tape dispenser? I'm sure you have learned a lot. Thank you very much. If you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, support me on my Patreon, English and Grow. And remember, and I also remember, if you ever struggle, remember that every breath is a new beginning.